All right, guys, what's going on? So let's do a quick kind of tutorial on how to use this macronutrient and caloric intake calculators. Calculator, Jesus, that word kicks my ass every time. So this is a simple way to kind of get an idea, a starting point, and some progressions that you're going to use throughout your journey of trying to gain some weight or to lose some body fat, right? So it's not just randomly cutting calories or randomly just eating as much as you can. There's a graduated, stepwise process way to do this, and that's why I laid out this calculator to give you an understanding about how we go about that. So just some quick things about using the calculator. It is a little finicky. What you're going to want to make sure is that after you complete this left hand column, the answer that you get here in this column, you're also going to input into this column. If you don't, and you'll see what I mean in a second, some of the numbers are going to show up negative. We worked a long time to try to get the Excel file to communicate with this PDF, and this is where we got. All right, so the numbers do come out correctly, but you just have to make sure that whatever you get for this Aragon equation for TDEE, you also input over here into this average caloric intake per day. So no matter what, you're going to fill out this left-hand column, and it'll give you the answer here in the second one, and then you're going to fill that in with the third. So let's go ahead and walk through this. All right, so I'm 190 pounds, let's say. I want to get jacked. I want to get to 205. I'm training 5 hours per week. So basically, you just add up all the time that you're in the gym training. I'm not talking about the time that you're, cutting up with your boys in the locker room. I'm talking about the time that you're actually training. So if you're training 4 times a week for 45 minutes, that's only 3 hours, right? So make sure that you have an accurate estimation of how much time you're actually training. And then your training intensity, guys. So I have the little scale underneath this, work with most of the guys. So it's really about nines, tens, and 11s here. Most of the guys that I work with are at that 9 to 10 range. You can use decimal points if you want to, but I would recommend just saying either a 9 or a 10. 11 is basically exclusively set off to the side for pro athletes and people who are doing 2 and 3 times a day training. Like it's a number that you're really not going to touch in most of the programs that I write. You're going to be at that 9 to 10 level. So just understand that even though you're probably kicking ass during those 45 minutes to an hour, that 11 number is reserved for people who are training twice a day and doing crazy stuff. So let's go ahead and say I'm kicking ass and I'm training, really hard. My training intensity is a 10. Okay, you can see down here that one of the numbers came out negative. All right, we tried to fix that. We for whatever reason couldn't get it. So to get the whole calculator to populate correctly, you're going to take this number here. All right, that 2850. Excuse me, that 2850, and you're going to plug it in up here. All right, and that's going to turn all the numbers correct, make them not negative anymore, and give you the correct answers for your graduated kind of step process to use this calculator. So what you'll see here is that if I'm 190 and I want to be 205, the primary adjustments that are going to be made are I'm going to start eating 205 grams of protein a day. So that's 100. It's 1 gram per pound of body weight. My fat is going to go to half a gram per pound of body weight, essentially. And then my carbs, grams a day, are going to slowly go up 369 on the first week. So at maintenance, excuse me, I'm at 328. Weeks 1 to 4, I'm going to bump that up about 40 grams. Weeks 5 to 8, I'm going to bump that up another 40 grams. Weeks 8 to 12, I'm going to bump that up another 40 grams. And that's where my caloric increase is going to come from. And if you go back to the weight gain weight presentation that I made, you'll see that I increase calories from carbohydrates for that reason specifically. All right. So now let's go to the lose weight section. And the same principle applies. Whatever I do on that left-hand column is going to populate the middle one. Whatever I have in the middle one, I have to fill in on that right-hand side. So again, let's kind of reverse that process. Let's say I'm 205 and I want to cut down to 190. Make sure that there's no weird zeros or anything like that. Okay. Again, I'm training 5 hours a week and my training intensity is a 10. All right, cool. Again, you can see some of the numbers populate negatively or with a negative. Okay. TDEE 3075. I'm going to take that number, plug it in over here. 075. And everything's going to fill out and look right. Okay, so these numbers are all going to match. And what you can see that I've done is we have a slow decrease in the amount of protein that we're taking in. So I go from 205 weeks 1 to 4. I'm eating a little bit of an excess of protein, you could say, to 195 to 190. Okay, so eventually I work my way down to 1 gram per pound. But whenever we're losing weight, again, we can kind of use an excess intake of protein to kind of buy us, in quotes, some calories, right? Again, our fat goes down to a stable number at about a half gram per pound. of body weight, and then our carbs slowly get decreased by about 20 grams, 20 to 30 grams every couple of weeks. All right. So that's how to use this calculator. Again, make sure you fill in this left-hand column first. Okay, that'll populate these numbers here, and then you take that number, you fill it in over here where these arrows are, and you will get everything you need to get. All right, guys. I hope you enjoy, and let me know if you have any issues or questions about this. All right. Peace.